Okay, guys, I'm about to do a video that is long overdue as far as finishing. And that's finishing my series of ranking all 38 2018 released films. Long overdue. I like my first part of the series I did back in September. And so I'm like, let's just get it done with now. So I'm gonna go through 13 films, right? The 13 top films, in my opinion, of 2018. Left out of the 38 I saw. And in 13th place is Night School. Definitely probably the funniest film this year. I just think everything, all the jokes, everything just landed really nicely. And it really felt like it kind of did, of course, Kevin Hart's funny. Of course, all the supporting cast is also really funny. It wasn't, and it felt like a lot of the other members of Night School just as well stole the show. And their interactions with, you know, Kevin were really exciting too. And so it made it really exciting overall and funny. And the plot was there, so it wasn't like they cheated at all to get the jokes. The jokes all went well because of what happened in the past, what happened then, and then the outcome touches on all sorts of levels. That's, of course, hilarious. 12th is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp. Again, it's just another solid MCU film. It's one of those films overall in the MCU land. It's just in the middle. And it's not the boldest film. It's not the most creative film. But nonetheless, it's a film that doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but also doesn't try that hard to be one of the top. Again, just like its intention, it is where it gets, and that's 12th, pretty much in the middle, of the best. So, you know, and I think it's solid, but not like it's not the best in there yet. Coming in 10th place is, or no, sorry, 11th place is going to be Bumblebee. Again, this one just kind of flew under my radar because when I figured out that they were going to do a standalone Bumblebee film, I was like, what are you doing? But then I realized that none of the other Transformers films were that good, so they might as well. If they're going to do another Transformers film, they might as well try this unique kind of space. And it really worked out well. It really touched on all the little moments and all the little heartbeats and touches that it should, to make an overall good, solid entry, in the Transform universe, and honestly the best one yet, because they don't make it this big bombastic film. Literally, bombs after bombs after bombs, and just you couldn't tell what happened, collisions, all this stuff in all the other films, but this one just felt grounded. It felt like this is what if they're ever gonna continue with the Transformers franchise, individual stories, not something huge, not something big. Go for a level that feels right, that feels like it's deserved, honored, and fits. It doesn't fit. Giant robots don't fit in human world, especially what they do with them. It doesn't work. So when you got these little story with a great cast, with great characters, with actually some funny jokes, and of course, great action, great CGI, it just works so well together. And they're telling a small, innocent story about a robot and a girl. And it doesn't need to be much more than that to work. Coming in 10th place is going to be Aquaman. Oh god, I think it's like really solid. I think it's like really a surprise, especially it's good for the DCU. They can actually put out good content, I guess, for relative most part. And it's not crazy, but it does crack into my top 10 because Jason Momoa works, all the cast, and especially the VFX, the whole idea of world building of Atlantis just works so well to just kind of see, again, the world building, the creativity. the suspense, the action, the cast, the characters, the themes, the jokes, the action, and yeah, a little bit of horror. And so I think everybody can get behind. I feel like everybody who loves, movies and stuff can get behind a certain aspect of, this film because of what it represents, because of the different moments in it, because of the different heart. It has a lot of heart in this film. Between the Snoopy, was it the Snoopy? It was like something. It was like something. Oh yeah, Pinocchio. The Pinocchio thing, and all these things definitely give it a genuine sense of heart, and so I really can appreciate that. In ninth place is Incredible. Incredibles. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, Incredibles 2. Sorry, Incredibles 2 was a great follow up to The Incredibles. It was long awaited as a fact. A great follow up to Incredibles. And just all the ways and all the fantasticness and all the world building and everything that it represents. It's really, really fantastic. And just the characters work. In the different settings you put Bob, you put all these characters in, works. So that one is a number 10th place. Or no, sorry, 9th. 8th is going to be Bohemian Rhapsody. It's kind of my first dip into like genuine dramas, like a dramatic film. Of course, it's also a biopic about a great musician, great band. But overall, it just really was. I think it's memorable for me because I usually was always action or comedy or TV, cool kind of like stuff in that area. As you've seen most notice, it's either comedy or action or kind of kiddish. But here was definitely my first dip into like, oh, it's not just there's no joke, it's about story, and the way they tell it is really interesting, and the way they tell a person's life chronologically through advancements of time, through I guess an era where certain things happened, where certain certain things were going on, and you see kind of this band, and more particular, this person, in Freddie Mercury, I guess defining the world that time was, and seeing his journey, and as a viewer, what's gonna happen, where the story's gonna end and where the story started and how the story went, but kind of seeing every step in a unique kind of way, in a unique kind of view, I think made it all the more exciting. So it was really interesting and really be a pretty memorable movie. It's kind of like the kind of an interesting film I kind of saw in between. Coming in seventh place is going to be Spider-Verse. Wow. Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Spider-Verse is sick. Awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. Okay? In every way. As soon as I saw it, I was like, it blew my mind away. It really did. In every way. It was just like, so this great film exists? And yes, just the style. It just did a similar homage to comics, to Spider-Man, to every single level of a comic book, of Spider-Man, of Marvel, of movies, of superheroes, did so well to everything. There wasn't that much holding it back, just for me. I think the top 7 films are just so stellar, and I love them so much to a level where you're gonna just, have to wait and see. And I think going forward from my top 6, you might get like a little bit of a sense like why why is that film above this and above that? And so I get that there's, like, I think I'm just, overviewing my top, 6. And I guess the list, for me, is my list, but I think there's a lot of things in there that you might be like, why is that there and above that? But to me, this is my list. So this is my top 6. Ooh, Black Panther. Ooh, it was just such a historic film, being the first, African, American lead, especially taking in Wakanda, and just everything was done so right. The cast, the characters, the setting, and I think one of the best parts is honestly the world of Wakanda. Wakanda is such a famous place, such a rich place in the comics, and it's almost like a character itself, Wakanda. You really need to portray it right, and there's a certain way to do it, and they did it perfectly. It wasn't like they just showed Wakanda and then just like left it. No, Wakanda. It takes place in Wakanda for 90% of the film. In Wakanda is stunning, but beyond Wakanda, it's the characters, like the whole, especially the amount of characters, the amount of justice it does to every single one. It feels like a African of Avengers movie. And that worked so well between Black Panther, Shuri, Okoye, you know, and I think Black Panther's love interest, who even she got in the action, as well as Black Panther's mom, and of course Killmonger as an amazing, truthful, justifiable villain just from the first 5 minutes of the film, and even Claw gets gets cool moments for a short screen time, which that was cool, and um even the Ross guy, uh, what Everett Ross, yeah, he even got in it, kind of being like the only white character, but that was kind of cool to get him in it too, and it just felt really well. I noticed the kind of theme of a lot of strong female characters as well as a male lead. It honestly felt like there was more female characters than male, and it worked. And it worked in the sense that I've always been talking about equality, not one over the other, and this felt really equal as far as race, as far as the gender of the characters, and as far as the story is really exciting. And you really follow the characters. They probably wouldn't kill off any of them, based on how much potential they have. But still, it didn't mean anything. And it was just really cool. A lot of twists and turns, and really cool film. So was that 6? That was 6, yeah. 5th is Deadpool 2. I like Deadpool 2 honestly better than the original. I know a lot of people like the original better, but I'm a Deadpool 2 fan. Juggernaut was a big surprise. I love Cable. I love Deadpool. The jokes landed. The action was great. Cable, Russell, Juggernaut, and just how the story involves. And it feels like they have a lot of plot lines, but it all connects. It all feels like it flows right because it all contains and works to a central plot line of Cable trying to stop Russell, but Deadpool knowing that Russell's a good kid, knowing that Cable is out there. Cable and Deadpool's interactions are funny. Russell's and Deadpool's, Juggernaut and Colossus and the expansion and all these different memorable. The whole movie is memorable. It's not that long of a film, but it feels long because every single moment is hilarious. Every single moment works. Every single character has a cool scene. Not has a cool and a funny scene, an emotional scene. Some characters really get some emotion, and I just loved it. I had a blast. I also like the violence in this film. 4th place, Mission Impossible Fallout. I really, really love this film. From start to finish, it was action-packed. From start to finish, it was full blown from start to finish. I love Mission Impossible. This is not necessarily my favorite one, It's actually the first one I saw in the theaters, but still, it doesn't change anything. It still was fantastic. I still really like the cast. It was really cool how it was a nice follow up to Mission Impossible 5. Kind of really connecting the ties between the characters who survived, the characters, because like Mission Impossible 5 introduced a lot of new and exciting characters, and not only did it connect very well with Mission Impossible 5, it just connected with Mission Impossible overall, as Julia returned, as again, 95% of the people from Mission Impossible 5 returned, and it was really exciting as the plot kept moving forward, and you don't know who to, just like most of these films, you don't know who to trust. You don't know if the person you think you're working for isn't right. You don't know if you're going toward, the right cause, the whole damn time. And it's really exciting to watch. And of course, Tom Cruise is good. The stunts are better than ever. Each film, I don't think it necessarily tries to top each other, but there is definitely one. Every film has like this cool kind of moment. This one, like how Mission Impossible 5 had that cool bike chase or the motorcycle chase, and then Mission. My personal favorite stunt was the Dubai sequence, and I think this one was definitely the helicopter. That was like pretty cool. Or just like the halo jump was pretty cool too. So again, there's stunts, and of course the stories in these films are also fantastic. So there's a lot riding positively on this. Third, Ready Player One. Now, I read the book, and I think the book is better than the film by a lot. And that just goes to show how good the book was. That it could be one of the best, one of the great films, but also a better book. But that doesn't really take away, because it really is its own story, while still, I think everything that happened in this film is definitely not original. Definitely a lot took away from the book, but the book has so many great moments that probably would take a whole. I would honestly say Ready Player One would be a good TV show. Like, I'm thinking about this now. Think about Ready Player One, but as a TV show, but it wouldn't work because of all the CGI and all the effects. But just the whole premise of taking, VR and just letting loose. Warner Brother characters, you name it, in it, and I just felt so happy watching. Doing justice to all these characters, all these moments, all these different stuff. And if it's from the book, I really get excited because I would be sitting in the theater like, that's from the book. And then even beyond just being in the book, that's King Kong, that's the dinosaur from Jurassic Park, that's Batman. And then if it's just from the book, it's like, that's from the book. And even some of the original stuff is pretty cool. And all the cast, they really good cast. They really casted all the characters just like you would think that they would be in the book. And I just loved it. I ate it up as a fan of, pop culture, as a fan of films, as a fan of all the genres. It had a story. It had, this kind of unique sense of action. Using, all these, the DeLorean. He rode the DeLorean. He did all these stuff. So, fighting through the pop culture of the 80s, fighting through VR, it blew my mind away. Just from a technology standpoint, from a pop culture standpoint, from a movie standpoint, from a story standpoint, from a cast standpoint, and also the world building of the Oasis blew my mind away. And oh god, unpopular opinion, destined to come. Number 2, Solo. I know what you're thinking. What? I had a fun time. Now, I thought Solo was very good. Not very good. because I think as Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character, hands down. And I thought this was not the best portrait, obviously. I think the best was definitely Empire, the original trilogy as a whole. But this was a worthy predecessor towards the Han Solo we know and love. And that puts me number 2 as I love Han Solo, and if I can get a worthy rendition of it, then why wouldn't I eat it up? No, the supporting cast and Lando, and all these little hints of Han Solo's past was kind of so exciting. It was being like, he met Chewie that way, he met this that way, he met that way. Is of course really exciting and really exciting to, especially when upon rewatching this, upon doing it, it feels really unique because it definitely feels by far the farthest from the overall story. And Rogue One was also pretty far distantly, but that one still was so pivotal to the overall story. This one felt very distant, a very own mission. First, kind of deep dive into the underworld, and it really gave a good portrayal of all of that factors. Of course, you will also probably be like, I don't really care for a lot of these supporting characters, but I think once you realize how they shape Han's life, which is Han is a character that every Star Wars fan undoubtedly loves. So you gotta really look at it that way. And the story, the cast, the characters, the action, just the Star Wars necessity is really exciting and really interesting. And really a lot of Easter eggs that as a Star Wars fan I ate up. Number 1 is Infinity War. I think enough said there. Infinity Wars are really just straight to the point, amazing. I have never gasped as much as I did in Infinity War because I honestly gasped at the end of Infinity War. I was like, I gasped. I was shocked. And I was like, they went there. They freaking went there. I mean, Infinity War, you know how amazing it is. Again, it's not as good as Endgame, which we're not done with 2019 yet, so it's still wait on that. But still, why am I gonna waste my time talking about it? I like it. That it's not awesome. I also want that it's as good as Civil War, but I think I have an opinion too. So stay tuned for more videos coming right at you.